Hello everybody, I'm Kate. Today we will show the processes about how our group develops the model to simulate stock price. The model that we need to develop is based on several variables, which include current stock price, expected return, volatility, and the simulation stamp size. All of these variables should be input in the model by users. So we use input box in VBA, and this coding will be mentioned later. About this project, its purpose is to simulate stock price movement to estimate stock future price. Additionally, it helps us understand a geometric Brownian motion, which has five assumptions. And now I will introduce two of assumptions. The first assumption is that stock prices are continuous in time and value. The stock price changes along with time. It fluctuates at any time during the trading days when the market opens. Besides, the value of a stock measured by a fixed currency unit and reflected on the price of the stock in the market. Therefore, from the lines that are created by VBA, we can see that the stock price is a continuous line, and any point on the line has a corresponding price. The second consumption is current stock price in relevant for predicting future price. The stock price follows the Markov process, which is a stochastic process. We predict the future price of stock through its current price rather than historic price. The reason for that is because the current stock price has fully reflected the information provided by stock price in the past. So we cannot use the stock price in history to estimate stock's future situation.
Hello, I'm Meryl, and I will talk about the next three assumptions and how they apply to our project. The third assignment talks about the proportional return over a short period of time, and it is normally executed. As you can see, the right part of equation can be divided as certain and uncertain part, but we will not use this formula as it can be diverse in the following assumption. As for the next assumption, it concentrates on the price of stocks, which is log normally distributed. This distribution is different from normally distribution because it is not symmetrical and have a minimum value of 0 and a maximum value of infinity. Now let's look at the first equation. It shows that the left side is the natural log of today's price divided by yesterday's price, which is continuous compounded of natural distribution with the mean here of the expected return minus the half of variance multiplied by the time period, and the standard deviation is calculated by the variability and the square root of time period. To simplify the first equation, we can get the second one. The right side shows the true parts of certain and uncertain components. And for the last assumption, by developing the equations in assumption 3 and 4, we can get the last one, which is the most important part in our project because it is used to predict the future stock price using current price. There are 5 variables in this part, which is current stock price, expected return, volatility, time increment, and number of days for trading. And by the way, we assume the trading day for 250 days. And we also find the formula to calculate the K, which is the expected return minus the half of variance.
I'm Grace and responsible for the first button for creating data. This is our pattern of the start button. According to the formula above, we can get these four input fields. When we finished this, in order to output the data to the sheet, this code is ended. So we could find our input number in the upper left corner. This is our creation part. First, we want to calculate the average stock price. So we first write the code to get the sum of stock price. And then we use it to calculate average price by dividing the total by the numbers. Second, the code could find out how many prices is greater than the average. The third part focuses on how to find the positive numbers in the uncertain part. These positive cells will turn right according to this. Finally, it could calculate the growth rate of daily prices.
I'm Lassie. Our group set up four buttons to generate our four different charts. The first chart is a chart of certain and uncertain. The second chart is a chart of stock price and average stock price. This chart can show the daily stock price fluctuation in the average price. The third chart is a chart of stock price certain and uncertain. It shows the performance of two components of certain and uncertain in the stock price. The first chart is a chart of stock price, certain, uncertain, and average stock price. This chart can see the overall performance of the stock price by observing the situation of certain, uncertain, and average stock price. We take the key codes out to explain because the four command buttons have a similar code. We first set the code of effective rows. End row means that all data from the row you selected to the last row. Second, we set the code to insert a line chart into sheet 1 and activate it.
I'm Kelly. I will introduce how to use VBA to create chats. First, we need to set the code. To complete the process of drawing a line chart, take Command button 2 as an example. The new series is added to the activity chart. The name of certain is G2 and the values of certain data is the row from G3 to the end row of G. Similarly, the uncertain's name is H2 and the uncertain's value is from the row of H3 to the end row of H. Then we add special code for the size of x-axis can adjust with the change of data. In addition, we set the names of the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis represents days and the y-axis represents price. For the beauty of the chart, we also set the width, height, and the position of the chart. Finally, activating the range of data in sheet 1 can generate a line chart.
Finally, I will describe the button about clearing and comparing. First, this is our clearing button. It will delete all data chart and color we showed in the earlier parts. And the next button is one of our creation, which is compared the final stock with initial price. It will calculate the changes of price and show as increase and decrease. The part could make us more understand our stocks. This is our presentation. Thank you for your watching.